thought there'd be more people here.
No, it's a pretty quiet place.
I've never been to any of these. As long as I've lived here, I've never been to any of these places.
Most people go to the Starbucks over on campus.
How can you pick this one? How can you pick this one?
Because it's not packed.
Okay.
And there's nowhere to sit over. And although it probably would have been easy today because school's out. So
what time did your day start?
No students around. I got in at 8 this morning. And then
what do you do mostly when you're at work?
This morning I.
You did say I could record.
Oh, we're recording. That's right. Sure. This morning I uploaded a sermon and wrote a couple notes and answered some emails and.
You're very quick on your emails, like Whack-A-Weasel.
There you go. Yeah, well.
You familiar with that game, Whack-A-Weasel or Whack-A-Mole?
Yeah. I try to be.
Yeah.
So,
and you responded to what was just a copy, really.
What's that?
You responded to what was really supposed to be just a copy to you.
Oh yeah. Well, I noticed when you.
Alice, yeah.
Yeah.
How come she didn't join it?
What's that?
How come she didn't join it?
I don't know. She's got other things going on, I guess.
So you uploaded a sermon, it's one that you wrote, or
what I preached last night.
No. What do you call it? Form letters like thing?
No, I uploaded the audio, so you can go online and listen to it.
The one that you gave?
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
I even have trouble understanding audio sometimes on when I go online.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you need a transcript?
Well, they work a lot better for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, not all churches do that. One time I went to the
thanks very much.
First Congregational Church down Claremont.
Thank you.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, back up in the woods.
Yeah. I just went there one time to see what they were. I thought they were Unitarian, but when I asked them a little bit more about it, they said no. But then when they explained to me what their beliefs were, it sounded Unitarian to me.
Yeah.
What do you think of them?
I've never worshipped in there before, but I used to volunteer. They have a. Hang on one second. I'm gonna grab a sugar.
All right, Angel. Have a good day. I'll see you later.
They have an Alzheimer's daycare.
Do they?
In there, and I used to volunteer in that, but I've never been to worship there before. But I do know that they are a very open and inclusive community.
I mean, everything they recited back to me before not during the sermon, but I just kind of asked them a little bit about it. It sounded Unitarian to me. What's the difference between a Unitarian and a Jehovah's Witness?
I couldn't tell you.
They both do not believe in the Trinity.
Well, that's pretty self-explanatory in the Unitarian. But
did you ever read the stuff that the Jehovah's Witnesses give you, the little pamphlet?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
They sound like they're written as if for a child.
Yeah, they're very lowest common denominator.
And they don't vote.
Yeah, no voting and no blood transfusions and.
I don't know about that, but they don't believe in Easter. This is what I thought. They come to my house regularly. It's been a while since they've been there, but one Christmas, two women rang my doorbell. Their name was Amerson and Amber. And I was surprised they did that because I had a sign in my yard that said, "Did God have Mary's permission having that child?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. Technically that's still rape, isn't it? Yeah, question mark. And I asked them the question, and they said, yes, God had Mary's permission. And she agreed to be his servant slave. And I go, well, that's not exactly give him permission. And well, you don't understand. I mean, that's totally different back then. They didn't mean the same thing. And I go, but I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with these two. So I answered the question and said, do you believe that women should be 100% subservient to their husband? Their eyes popped open and they looked at each other as if they wanted the other one to answer. And all of a sudden Alice go, well, we need to go. We have some sisters that we need to catch up with. And about that time, two came walking down. The only difference with the two walking down, one of them was Hispanic looking. So after they left, I got on, but Allison did ask me if she could come back and finish this conversation. Now, this was like a Tuesday, this was coming up Thursday. I'm the chair. I'm not working. I love to, just got this stuff. And I didn't really think she was coming back, but I did go online and look up Wikipedia what they had to say about the Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's when I learned about the Trinity. They did not believe in the Trinity. They thought Easter was just a pagan day co-opted to get people away from other religion. So it came back. This time she came back instead of without Amber, but with Consuelo instead. And we talked, and at one point I said, well, I don't care what it is that makes y'all the same inside the walls of the church. What I want to know is what makes y'all any different than the rest of us outside the walls of the church when it comes to surviving life. And I want to know your jobs, how you vote, and this one now, oh, we don't vote. And I'm kind of caught off guard by that. I was not prepared for that. How did I miss that on Wikipedia? Knowing who I am, I thought I would have caught that. And it was just I just stopped right there. And then Consuelo wanted to talk about compare God to the wind. And I was like, well, we do know where the wind comes from. Although it does get warmed up by the sun coming through it, most of the warm is down at the surface level, and then the warm air, secondary, rises up, and the cold air comes down. You got the circulation, you got the terrain, you got the moisture. So we know a lot more than we know then. And then I quoted what I told a preacher once. I want you to answer this question: why believe in God? He asked a Methodist preacher asked that question of children. How would you answer that?
Why believe in God?
Why believe in God?
Because I think that desire is within all of us.
That desire what?
That desire is within all of us.
Okay, but that doesn't tell you why. Well, how does that make? I don't believe in God, so how does that play the difference between me and you? Well, you're saying I do have the desire, so how does that make? I say I don't believe in God.
Okay, well, that to me it's like that's like falling down and saying I don't believe in gravity. You can believe or not believe, but it's still the ultimate reality.
How do you define God?
The ultimate reality.
That doesn't really tell you anything. I mean, I have another sign that says that I put in my yard.
Yeah, I saw your signs. One of them said, "Glen Memorial United Methodist Church thanks God for dead soldiers."
Yes, back I found on. Well, I didn't say question mark. It doesn't tell you what my opinions are.
What are you trying to accomplish by those signs?
Well, I mean, the Supreme Court, 8-1.
I didn't say that you don't have the freedom to do it. I'm just saying
it's not a simple answer. I can't give simple answers like you do.
Okay.
They're too easy. But 8-1 ruled in favor of Trump's right to sign. Well, theirs are pretty much adamant. That's what they believe. Mine are question mark. Mine are only designed to draw people into a discussion, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that they're more reactive than they are, thinking about anything. And sure enough, I trick people that try to confront me. I'm confrontational first, but then I tease them and trick them into being confrontational with me, and they end up learning. Anyway, 8-1 in favor. 9-1 if you consider they do not even consider the fact word a censored word. Only one that dissented was Alito. And when you read it, it wasn't the 8-1 ruling that made me mad. I was actually okay with that. If right is right and wrong is wrong, then this should have happened back when they were doing the gay funeral, not wait until they kept racking it, and then we had a dead soldier. Like we had a father who thought his son died while protecting our First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, while don't ask, don't tell, it's on the fact. How do we even know that dead soldier wasn't a faggot as well, Although the ruling was after they were killed, don't ask, the soldier died before. And so you read Alito's dissent. I had already prepared myself. If they rule in favor of Trump, I'm okay with it. It should not. It should not make a difference that this man has the public support because his son is a soldier. Alito did. He ran it. With a big long rant. All it was about military funeral, military installation. Not one mention of the gay community, the funeral of all the men that have died for me. So it was nothing but a He was letting his opinion, rather than really listening to what they were saying. Why did the 8-to-1 rule in favor? Because the issue of God and gays were already within the public domain, being debated before they did the sign. And to punish them in any way for picking up these signs would be deny them their right participating in this debate. Why wait for another funeral for this to flare up every time? Now, we get it all out of the way. So what I've done is put question marks on it and put it in everybody, put it in my yard, and I think everybody should do it. Let's all discuss it at the same time, not wait till a funeral. The only thing that we want to pick me off the way it is now, are you following me? I can go really fast, Are you following me?
Yes.
Anytime you're not following me, let me stop me right then and there, so don't let me keep going. And then call me vulgar or belligerent again, and I don't know what part, okay? That's cheating. People have brought their own issues into it, not really about the gay, it muddied the issue, the little kid that died at the Boston Marathon. I don't know if he actually picked those, but that made a lot more people mad and had nothing really to do with the gay issue. So God and gay were already within the public domain to be invaded. That's debated. Let's not wait for the funeral to be provoked. And that's upsetting. Okay, why were you upset about that one sign and not the other three?
Well, I only saw a picture of the one sign.
Oh, somebody showed it to you?
Yeah, someone was driving to the dentist and that goes to Glen Memorial and took a picture of it and sent it to me.
Did they put it up on the web?
No.
Yeah, I see lots of people are taking pictures.
No, just sent me a text message. I was just curious what
I bought them with me. I got them all.
Well, I was just going to show you what I.
No, I already know what they look like. Yeah, let's see what they.
No, I was just curious what your.
Did you share it with your congregation?
No.
Why not?
Why would I?
It has question marks on it.
Well, that's okay.
And y'all debated it already with the letters to the bishop.
Nothing about dead soldiers.
Well, let they go hand in hand together. Because a while it's been removed. I don't know if it was removed before you came. When did you come with Glenn?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. This has been, this has been going on for 8 years ago.
Yeah. See, that's what was sent to me.
And that's my mug shot, and that's me at Camp Tanaco, which is the Methodist church camp.
That's your mug shot?
Yeah. The violating Bob and Janet Gary's restraining order with an email. Not only nothing but words to be true. And I ended up on the 5th floor of the felony floor of the Camp jail, which is the felony floor.
What's this picture?
That's a picture I found online, an artist. Okay, and then I got the bigger blown up here, and it has a piece out of something I took out of a letter that Bob and Janet sent me. I'm going to show you. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I just bring a whole bunch of stuff, and then I can pull up to it. Truth be God, universal one, and said. That is my creed. Is that your creed?
Truth be God, universal one. I don't even know what that means. I don't understand what that means.
Truth be God. Why do we need to even talk about God? Why even mention God? Why can't we just talk about truth? I mean, you will find no true people on this planet that believe in God, exactly what it means believing in God. Then, far as I can say, we have as many gods as there are people claiming one. When you look at it that way, I have one too. I just don't choose to call it a God. So, if you add take Matt to it, why even bother mentioning it? The truth. Why don't here's something? These are pictures of the sign in the yard.
There it is. Yeah.
This one has indoctrination. This one was inspired by after my little rant to you in an email that you call vulgar and belligerent. Indoctrination, organized religion. What did the tortoise and the pedophile have in common? Confirmation server, and they both get there before the hair does. Indoctrination is getting there before the hair does. God, El. This I condensed down from he who sees God, he who fears God, fears nothing else. He who sees God, sees everything else. God, El, question mark, God, question mark, El. Here's me as a veterinarian. Have you seen the movie Seven Psychopaths? It has like 7 psychopaths in it, but there's a little lot, Shih Tzu, a little dog that's throughout the movie. a dog snapper accidentally stole a dog shit of a gang leader, and so now they're being shaved. Well, the name of the movie is Seven Psychopaths. I'm thinking Seven Deadly Sins. And years ago, my mother wanted a picture of me at work to have it in the Nevada County Picky Union where I grew up. So Danny Atkins, the doctor who was brought in her little Shih the movie wasn't even out at the time. So I can have this dog to take a picture with, pose with, and pets the people too, which is 24 hours. Hospital I was working at, daytime. And so God out. Well, God has to have an observer. As that is an abstract word made out of 3 letters themselves abstract with a long history. We have no idea how they came to be the shape they are. So where am I going with this? Sometimes I retract. But well, anyway, animals don't have abstract thought. That's where I'm going. So once the last human race, gone, once the last human disappeared, God, time, which are both abstract thought, ceased to exist. There's no point in believing in God. I've always done how we define God. So I have another sign that says God has got to be the biggest motherfucker of them all. Question mark. 2 exclamations and a question mark in the middle. The enclosed in parentheses, and then the quotation quote. And that's my dial for Dodger of the Trinity. Father, exclamation, singularity, great bane. Son, singularity, great bane. And question mark, singularity. You turn it upside down, it looks like a pregnant woman. I think the Holy Ghost is nothing more than the essence. Jesus, the offer Dodger way, trying to represent the essence of his mother Mary during a time when women had no say-so in politics, and not even any say-so in their life was within their own family. They were pretty much just property. They couldn't even be witnesses in their own trials had they been raped, And so I think that was just his offer Dodger way of getting woman in general into the story. So did God have Mary's permission having that child? Technically that's still rape. In my opinion, he did not. How can it be? I know not men. That she found out after the fact. She's thinking she shouldn't be pregnant. Okay. Well, if God's reason for choosing Mary as victim of his rape is the fact that she was an immaculate conception, born without sin, what does that mean? Born without sin, immaculate conception.
Are you asking me?
Yeah. What does that mean? She was an immaculate conception, born without sin.
That's something that's not really in the scripture, but it was kind of put in by
most people don't even know what the immaculate. A lot of Christians don't even know what the immaculate conception is. I even had to be corrected on that. By a trick I brought home one night. We ended up talking religion instead. My understanding is that she was born without sin. I would say a loving daughter by a loving parent, a planned pregnancy. She was sheltered, naive. Did she even know what was happening to her if she really had been raped by a bunch of Roman soldiers to turn into a cum dump, one cum dump by a bunch of Roman? Who knows? I'm just hypothetically. Would she have known what was happening? This would be her understanding. And the brain is a powerful organ. It will, I can just see, what it wouldn't be her. I'm just using what I know today. Laying there, grabbing for something, trying to understand what's happened, and then she starts singing a song. Show me the light, spirit, divine. I can just see her trying to numb the pain. So the brain is a powerful organ. So if you look at it that way, then Jesus was the opposite end of the Immaculate Conception, born of sin. It makes sense if you think of God as being nothing more than the sum of all of us, human, not animal, not plant, not rock, gold, pearl, just human. Then, if you think of God as being nothing more than the sum of all of us, then, including atheists, and then it makes sense that Jesus would have to die for our sins so that we may live. God's sin, So it just, I feel like it's nothing more than the offer Dodger way taking advantage of people.
The offer Dodger?
The offer Dodger way. Are you familiar with the book Oliver?
Oliver?
By Charles Dickens. Oliver Twist. Oliver, just Oliver Twist, no punctuation. Mine, Oliver, with an exclamation Broadway play, equals for Dodger.
Okay.
I came up with that on my own, with the help of the Urban Dictionary. The exclamation, one definition of, I was made with the Urban Dictionary, how people make up neologisms, what men do.
Sure.
I even got 2 admitted myself, accepted, but nobody votes on them but me. Every time I go and check out it, I'm the only one to add another vote to it. So I'd like nobody to read them. One of them is homopolar, and one of them is a political catalyst. Anyway, I'll talk about that later, if we have time.
Okay.
Are you going to give me another meeting after? There's no way I can finish what I'm wanting to have.
I don't know. I'm happy to meet every once in a while if it's helpful for you. I just don't. I'm trying to understand
where did it go after it goes into your brain? What I say?
Where does what go? Our conversation?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're just going to sit there and nothing's going to, it's not going to affect anything else from the thoughts.
Well, what are you hoping to create with these conversations?
First of all, you got me where I can't come on. You got me.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
what have you heard?
Let's talk about it. So,
no matter what you have done, or no matter who you are, or what you have done, or left and done, you are welcome to go in. No matter where you are on your faith road journey, that has disappeared. What happened to that?
That's still on the website.
I could not find it.
So, when the second time I think that you came to Glen Memorial and brought the hula hoops.
Yeah.
One of our office staff called Emory Police.
BJ.
I don't know which one. I wasn't there that day.
Okay.
And the detective that they spoke to said James Avery is not. There's a restraining order against James Avery. He's not allowed on campus.
There's not.
Okay. Right. And so
that is pragmatic competent. Taking advantage of pragmatic competent.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So that was what we were going on with that one detective's response to our phone call. I called Emory Police the very next week after a couple of your emails that were vulgar and belligerent. And
you don't have to tell me which part.
Okay, I'll have to go back and read. And spoke to another detective who said, no, there's not a restraining order against James Avery. There is a stay-away order from the president's office. James Avery is not allowed in the president's office.
No, I don't have that with me, but I have.
Okay.
Have they been in my house?
This is what I was told.
Okay.
I haven't had any face-to-face meetings or any sort of written correspondence.
I'm going to try to see if I can get Joshua with me next time.
Who?
Joshua from St. Mark. I'm going to see if I can. He's not going to want to, but maybe he might if I pay him.
So my understanding is that you are welcome on campus and you are welcome to come to the church. But I will tell you that you make people very uneasy, and Emory Police has a number of reports of you being belligerent, of you being confrontational, and so Emory Police has you on their list of individuals whom should they come on campus. I don't mind being on the list. But you're as far as I know, the second
serve at the Glen Memorial.
You're welcome to. The second detective.
This is the first time I'm hearing that I can. Okay. Yeah. But when I showed up, first time I showed up just stopping by. I wasn't planning from the day I first met you. I was just planning on, requesting a meeting, an hour at least, maybe not even take an hour, because what I want to talk minimum was conceptualization, reconceptualization. Basically I want to talk about what I'm doing with my sign. That is basically my reconceptualization of our story based on my theological orientation. And you have to understand it clearly, you have to be asking questions. And so as I was saying those 4 words, that's when you jumped in. Well, I immediately had to go commando over against that collar, considering everything that's happened to me up to that point. And okay, so I left believing that I was going to be hearing from you. Well, a while went by, so I had this idea that just a little reminder, I'll stop by with the hula hoop set theory. I was going to use one walk-up example of somebody a good Christian. You know what set theories are?
Set theories?
You know what that means?
I'm aware of them, but I have never studied them.
Okay, basically mathematical sort of thing. How you grouping? Within the religion, there's 2: bounded and centralized. Bounded means exclusive, like no fact and film. That means that would be like no homosexual. Centralized is basically the assumption that you're going to get everybody to agree that Jesus is God within Christian faith. That eventually, no matter where you are on your faithful journey, you will be walking with Glenn. It's almost assuming everybody's going to agree with you eventually. To me, it's a false assumption, and what makes everything else wrong from that point on. And
to say that everyone is welcome is a false assumption?
Yeah, that's what centralized set is. It's a set, but you're leaving it open, sounding as if eventually everybody's going to drift into agreeing that God. So I can't help but feel that the Methodist ministers already pretty much agree with who I believe God is. Like I said, if God is to me, God has got to be the biggest motherfucker of them all. If we're going to find him to be an omnipotent, omniscient, omnibenevolent, omnipresent. I know I'm hard to hear, listen to.
I understand what you're saying.
He better goddamn well be, or he got some more growing to do before he can claim this title. What could possibly be bigger? His mother, Jesus' mother, Virgin Mary. So he's God now, he's God then. So it's just my way of throwing it back at you in a different way, saying the same thing. So, and then God's omniscience is a paradox incompatible with the idea of human free will. Even that, it's big debatable. You have your compatibilities and your non-compatibilities. I'm kind of like a compatibility. Why can't, like predestination and human free will and all that, why can't they be compatible? They're just basically not quite defining the same thing. Free will is from moment to moment. Yes, we make decisions, and those decisions affect us from that point on, but they're based on everything on our path up to that point. So that's how I look at free will. But yeah, more like physics, it is predestined, although not necessarily anybody knows of it, So it's all about pragmatic competence, and most people just rather go the easy way. Like you got on your website, this is what we believe. I guarantee you, not everybody in that church believes that, but they keep quiet. The ones that don't, they have wives or whatever, and by association, they appear to be Christians too, just for their business. Everybody has their motive, being in that church. Different motives. They're not the same. So how can that be? This is what we believe. I just don't believe that. Does that make sense?
Sure, and I would say I don't.
So why should I be left out? Now,
you're not left out.
Well,
and the goal of at least Glen Memorial United Methodist Church is not to make everyone believe the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not the goal.
But I was led to believe that I'm not allowed. Other people, like you said, she was told.
Well, we were told by one of the detectives at Emory Police that you're not allowed on campus, and Glen Memorial is on Emory's campus.
And I had no reason. Even though I knew there was no restraining order. That was the first I heard of it. I knew there was a restraining order by Bob and Janet Gary.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. When I showed up the second
and there's a stay away order from President Wagner's office.
Oh, well, they did not see what I had to do. It didn't say that I couldn't contact them again.
Yeah.
I've been sending them copies. He's on the copy list. I just want him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on your copy list.
And it's getting bigger and bigger. I have my reason for doing that. If I know of you, then you are part of my story, my brain.
Okay.
And it's not entirely my fault. Yeah. Our story is an important part of my story. If I know you jumped right in there, I was not expecting to meet you. You inserted yourself into that. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about, and it was you that the three of us that you meet, and it never happened. You had your excuse, and you found an excuse.
What you were requesting was that you meet with Alice and myself on a stage in front of hundreds of people.
Well, eventually I did,
and then I told you that was never going to happen.
Why?
And why? Because there's no precedent for that, and
it makes it easier for you to continue with what's
well,
wrong?
No, James. No, hang on. No, I can't go into the president of Coca-Cola's office and say I want to meet with you and the vice president in a room of 1,000 people. people because I had some things I want to talk
But
about.
look what all has happened since then.
And it doesn't happen.
But I think I'm glad why you did not.
And from the very get-go, I told you we're not going to have that kind of a meeting. But if you'd like, I can't ever speak for Alice. But I told you I'm happy to meet with you whenever you'd like.
Well, I mean,
and that offer has been on the table for weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna, this is the first time I've ever used that. I know I'm gonna have trouble understanding what I'm saying, so I'm surprised. I'll be surprised.
I understand everything you're saying. What I don't understand is what you're hoping to accomplish.
Well, I have a crystal meth addiction.
You're right, and let me.
But I had to do my own intervention.
You're clearly a very bright individual. I mean, you are a deep thinker, and you.
Most people don't want to think that.
Well, I don't think that you could sit here and talk about set theories and physics and pragmatics and free will if you weren't a learned person. I think you're clearly.
I continue to learn.
I think you are clearly a very bright person. You have a very active mind, and you have a very.
And for the first time in my life, I find myself
engaging,
creative.
and you're very curious, and I think that's wonderful. And I like to be around people that like to learn and like to talk about different
What do you
things.
think about what I was just saying about the Immaculate Conception and the Jesus being born as a complete then?
Oh, I don't really believe in the virgin birth.
Was how I led into that, was it rational? Did it make sense?
It sort of did, but I mean, I don't know where you're. I mean, going into rape didn't make much sense to me. I mean, if you look at just the scriptures, if that's what you go on, she says, "Let it be with me according to your will," and you can say that that's not consent or that is consent. To me, it's a metaphorical story. It's not an actual, just like Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, I believe are stories to help us understand our place in the world and in our relationship with God.
How much time do we have left?
I need to leave in 30 minutes. I have to go pick up my children.
I want to give you an example of what happened with me with the 12-step program. Are you familiar with the 12-step program? This all relates back to my crystal methodism. I mean, I did my own intervention. That means
you can't do that though.
Yes, you can. I have been going to work on this. I'm glad you got into it. 1999 was roughly when it became a daily habit. When I started having to go to work on it. First, it was like a pick me up, just go to work. That one time won't hurt. That ended up being a great one. But roughly 1999, it became every day I went to work. Since 1999, I was a veterinarian. Up to 2010, that Thanksgiving.
You were a veterinarian?
Veterinarian. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I see DVM on your emails.
Be a doctor of veterinary medicine, or it could be VMD, veterinary medical doctor. But I switched it to herd health medicine. The biggest shock in my life, and I was not prepared for this. I did not know it was going to be like this. Was the day I graduated veterinary school, had passed my exam, and I was now allowed to practice veterinary medicine. I didn't feel like I was ready to be a veterinarian. There was so much I didn't know. I mean, I didn't feel like I knew anything well enough to be a veterinarian. Yet I could. And this is what I've learned the hard. Now I understand many years later, looking back, I have had lots of, everything that it was like being boom, and it all added up, and that's where I learned how, the hard way, where creativity comes from. One has to have a story to tell, and the free time to do it. You should be doing surviving stuff, food, clothing, shelter. Then you're not going to have time to really develop your creativity skills, creative skills. So it takes a luxury of time, plus having a story to tell, and that usually deals with hardship to really understand reality. And so, what kind of background you come from?
Like, what did I study?
What were your parents? What sociostatic level were you growing up?
Upper middle class, probably. My dad's a physician.
What kind of physician?
I have a sister, a radiologist.
And your dad was a radiologist. And your sister, what is she?
She is in physical therapy school.
How old is she? How old are you?
I'm 31. She's 28.
You're a little younger than I thought you were going to be. So, okay, let me just I'm not going to put this any further than this. All things being equal, except me being older than you, which one, until proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, should be the wiser one? Until proven otherwise, beyond a shadow of doubt. Which one should automatically be given the benefit of the doubt that he's the wiser one?
James, I don't even know how to answer that question.
I think, all things being equal, You know,
if all I know is two people's age, then I would say probably the older one has the benefit of the doubt.
And then let's say you haven't choose between me and Bob Gary. How about you and Bob Gary?
Not super well, but I've had conversations with him before, and I've seen him lead other groups of people.
Okay, so he's older than me. Not only that, he's got 2 degrees. In addition to his Master's of Divinity, he's got the Doctor of Theology, which has an emphasis on human psychology. Well, to me, that is a conflict of interest. One is kind of teaching people in faith, which is like blind belief, acceptance, and the other one is pretty much understanding of human psychology and why people will be like that. That's how
No, I don't think faith is at all blind belief. I think faith and the human mind are very well connected.
Hope, faith, they're almost the same thing.
No, they're different things. Yeah. But I don't believe in an irrational, unreasonable faith.
And what would you call an irrational faith?
Saying that I have faith that tomorrow it's not going to rain because God told me it was not going to rain tomorrow.
Okay, so why being bothered bringing God up?
Because you're asking me about faith.
So how does one with faith differ from somebody without faith? And your God?
Well, whether or not you.
How does it make a difference in moral?
Right. It's all, I think, a perception of what you believe ultimate reality is.
Well, I think when we die, we return to the element at the end of it.
That's a very common belief. I don't believe that. I believe that we have an eternal spirit and eternal soul that continues to live. And
that eternal spirit is still you, exactly you.
No, I have no idea.
Well, then, I can say the same thing a different way, Before there can be a conflict, there must first be common interest. I came up with it on my own. Before there can be conflict, there must first be common interest. Before there is an advantage, there must first be something different. People want to think what they're doing really successful and all that. They take credit for it. I kind of turned it back. What I've learned is like Jesus, who is my neighbor? Who is your neighbor? How he turned the neighbor thing back on them. Mm-hmm. That's what Jesus did. He just took their words and I've learned the same thing. Now this is a gay thing. You're not going to like hearing this, but I used to joke in Atlanta about the gay thing that I was the only one that didn't have the original hair on his ball. Everybody was busy into manscaping. Mm-hmm. And but one time I let Mark, a boyfriend, let him talk me into letting him cut me up. Well, a few days later, I'm bitching about because it's itching. And he's like, Jim, it makes it look bigger. And I was like, gee, Mark, I didn't know we were having a problem with that. How come it doesn't make you any tighter? I learned to throw it back out that way. You're all based on assumption first. Anyway, there must be, before there's an advantage, there must first be something different. So you don't necessarily get to take credit for being like, you're better looking than I am, you're younger than I am. In the nation that's 80% Christian, you're definitely going to be more popular than I am. Had you written a book like C.S. Lewis, you're definitely going to have an automatic audience versus me writing The Golden Confidence, which is a competing version. You just don't exactly get to take credit for that. That's confirmation bias. And we all share the same common interest. All of it. Animals, vegetables, and minerals. We all share the same common interest. Space. We all compete for the same space. We have no choice but to share. And I can't help but be concerned how it seems with our people of faith, something missing from this equation. They seem to have taken themselves out of the animal, and they're a separate category. And when you're thinking, something like that, you're sort of throwing that equation off. How do people like me try to get a conversation with people like you about what the right thing is to do now while we're living, rather than what. And this is where I learned from my family. We're Methodist. My father's a physician, a small town practice in Arkansas, family practitioner, mostly delivering babies. He worked 6 days a week, half a day on Saturday, but he took all of his emergency calls. So he was working 24 hours, 7 days a week, mostly delivering babies that y'all can indoctrinate. You know, it's up into our heads when a kid never really goes away. I'm still Methodist in spite of labeling myself a radical atheist. My Methodist history will never go away. And this is what me having to deal with my family now. There's a reason I keep distance between me and them. Donna, she's 7 years older than me. My brother's 5 years older than me. My sister used to tease me as a kid that I was an accident. Maybe I was, I don't know. I even asked my mother if maybe there was a brother or sister under a rock somewhere, someone just stayed there, you know? Maybe a miscarriage or something. She said no. Okay. I never did ask her if I was an accident, confirm it as an adult. But anyway, I remember my mother laughing at my sister when she was teasing me like I was a kid. Donna, are you aware that our deceased, frugal, Republican father charged just as much delivering black baby as he did a white baby? Yet it's his party politics that's holding them back from their fair share at a slice of the American pie. Yes, she man, I am already aware of this, but he sent them one final bill, and they still didn't finish paying him back. Donna, you really do need to stop cheering for the Confederate Army every time you watch a Civil War era movie. Especially considering all you do is play tennis with your rich lady Republican friends. But that's just the way it was back then. Yes, Donna, you are so right about this. It is a very good thing there has been some improvement since. But it was our family having had nothing to do with any of this improvement. Your family still having nothing to do with any of this improvement. You know, and this is where they're visiting me here. And this is where my mother jumped in. All right, that's enough time. Move on to something else. And I just, you know, that made me mad. Why? Because that was violating our agreement. The agreement was they could come visit. Eventually, when I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with them, you know, they could come visit me anytime they wanted to. They can come as frequently as they wanted to. But I would talk about whenever they wanted to. But I would talk about whatever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to, however I felt it, wherever I wanted to, however I felt it needed being talked about, what depending on the circumstances. And this is what I've learned about Jesus. I believe his talent was his ability shooting from the hip, dialogue-based sermon on the go, but based on how he reacted back. So this is what I've come to realize about him. I think him just as a man. I can still be a follower of Jesus without believing in the divinity of him. But I'm still atheist, and I don't believe he would claim to be God. But for mother, that was violating our, and if it came too much for them, they can leave anytime they wanted to. Well, that was violating our agreement. But I said nothing instead. You know, of course it was, that was enough. She hasn't stopped doing this yet, you know. She still, I want to wait until we're done, you know. You know, it's a form of stammering, and I realized I can put everybody into this. And it's a conflict. They got a conflict going on. They're hearing something that is clashing with what they want to believe, and they can't deny what I'm saying. And it and then that's what we call cognitive dissonance. Well, that's the conflict, cognitive dissonance. Correct. I don't know how long they deal with it, what they end up doing with it. They may just forget about it or whatever. But what I'm learning is, even though they don't acknowledge that they agree with me, it stays with them. One thought can never be unthought again. It will affect their behavior down the road from that point on. It may not, you know, I'm hoping that some of these people that are getting bait with the word, I work hard for them, many deserve to keep it. I hope some of them won't do it ever again. You know, you can't just put a number up there and say that's how hard you worked harder than that number. And I'm learning, you know, the hard way by being confrontational, what works and what doesn't work. I just have to be honest, fair, and reasonable, and I'm perfectly reasonable in having my opinion change if I'm given good enough reason to change them, you know. I'm not saying that I know the answers to everything, I just want to discuss them. I think there should be nothing wrong with discussing, even with the language I use, that like the rape and all that. I mean,
yeah, and I have no problem discussing things with you.
Yeah, but I have trouble. I'm totally because of my hearing impairment, gay, atheist. I can't find people. That's what I was hoping to maybe if I started going to Glen Memorial, that I can maybe it's on the campus. Maybe I can find a way to get from there into. I was falling back on what I knew about my Methodist history. Mm-hmm. They can be Paul Town. My brother's hearing impaired, 5 years older. He got very far behind in school. it was like his fourth grade math teacher, Martha Cupp, our church organist, that was very instrumental in helping my mother decide to send her to the Central Institute for the Deaf in St. Louis for 2 years. Well, it was like a barrack, you know. I remember a child from 5 years younger being in that place, and they had their little bed, like an army barrack, a foot locker, and a foot chest, and a locker, and that was totally different. I can, as an adult looking back, I can empathize with what my brother went through. Now, you see that bug?
I think you got it though.
And then I was hoping that wasn't a crystal meth bug. You know,
I saw it.
Supposedly we have bug crawling all over us. But I've never had that happen to me. But my uncle Arthur, who one of the two uncles I'm named after, toward the end, he had bug crawling all over him. They thought it might have been.
When did you? So, anyway, can I ask you some questions about yourself?
Yeah.
When did you finish veterinary school?
1987.
And you practiced?
I've been practicing up to I did my own intervention with the Gary.
Yeah.
And they were the key. I was hoping to get my family. I made the only mistake I made was wrongly believing Dr. Gary to be the intellectual before that he would not be afraid of the truth first. That was where I made a mistake.
Where were you practicing medicine?
Oh, I was doing a relief at the time. I was full-time. Well, my first job was in Miami 1 year. Immediately that doctor went to work on me trying to change everything I learned in veterinary school. It's not the patient you treat, it's the client you treat.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like you're kind of doing pretty much as a preacher. You know, you let people sort of use you to buy chairs off of it. Anyway, I'm not going to, I already did it in one of my letters. But it's a form of cognitive distance reduction, hiding, you know.
Okay, keep talking about yourself.
Then I went to Jacksonville for 4 years, but even there I was, I'm being spoon. I'm having trouble finding a place where I can settle down, my gain and all that. I came out halfway through vet school. I never had sex with anybody until second year of high school. And it was a three-way with two little Latin queens, only because I felt like if it got on hand, I could handle them. I mean, like violent. And it was, Judy Garland and all that. I don't even want to talk about that.
Okay.
I wasn't sure I wanted to be gay. I was tired of being lonely. And, some attention is better than no attention at all. And
you think you chose to be gay?
Well, I mean, I'm not. This is what I have to offer. What the other side thing. I've learned there is no such thing as right or wrong, good or evil, just byproducts of circumstances. I'm more of a hard determinant. Yet I do believe in free will from a moment to moment, but they're totally different terms. They don't have to clash. But I don't know why there's all that debate whether it's possible to have human free will or not. I don't think they have to clash, but they don't exactly have the same meaning. And with the gay community, just about across the board, everybody believes it's genetic. I'm probably one of the exceptions. I believe it's definitely a lot of environmental. It could be both. Our brains are not the same exactly structurally. They're different. They're wired differently, so that will help kind of shape who you are. You think about mentally ill versus not. That's the difference right there. That's obvious. That's extreme case. I'm mentally disturbed, all right, angry, but it's more frustration, and it's not bipolar. It's good reason,
You say that again?
I'm supposedly bipolar, but to me, it's not bipolar. It's good reason. The reason why I want the fact.
Have you had a diagnosis?
Well, that's the thing about bipolar. It's a medical misnomer. That's the thing about psychiatric medicine. Medical misnomer is having been named in a way that's misleading. For example, bipolar seems to imply that it's wrong of us having two poles, when in fact we are supposed to have two poles between men. What it really implies is the inability controlling your emotions. Well, I mean, okay, I'm known as Suicide Jim. There's a reason why I'm known as Suicide Jim. One day with me, and you want to just kill yourself.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, I mean, when I said that to my niece when they were visiting, Dana, are you aware that to some in Atlanta I'm known as Suicide Jim? And my sister already heard this. My mother, Dana, wait till you hear this. They're already laughing, my mother and sister. And I go, yeah, one day with me, and you just want to kill yourself. And Dana goes, I believe it, And they also burst out laughing. I sort of just looked at my mother, it was not supposed to be funny.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, but they laugh or it's funny because my brother, I'm supposed to can't own a cricket now because of this, me being involved. They came and visited me, saying they was my mother and sister. It was after all of that, that I've been admitted to Georgia Regional Hospital for 5 weeks that I came up with those rules. It was the only way that I could think of that would allow me not to get so upset with them when they did. I did not want them coming here. They think they're coming down here to clean my house, be with me, thinking they're helping me, being supported, without being supported in any way that I'm acting, that I need to be supported. They're not hearing any of that. My mother, she still does not, to this day, would rather a dead son than a daffodil for a son. She would rather a dead son than a daffodil for a son.
What's a daffodil?
A gay man. Oh. I've got that. I had that line on a movie with the Titanic guy.
DiCaprio.
DiCappuccino. Yeah, DiCaprio. That's how I remember it. Yeah, but he played Hoover, and his mother, he's supposed to be gay, and his mother told him she'd rather a dead son than a daffodil for a son. Cannot accept that she raised a gay son. Mm-hmm. She would rather believe that one of my uncles, the other uncle named after Uncle Jimmy, was schizophrenic. He burned down the house because a radio man told him to. He had auditory hallucinations, and he'd been in an institution since. And then they let him out when drugs came out. And who are these people on drugs? Is that who God made them to be? That's no different than me on crystal meth.
You think crystal meth makes you better?
It doesn't make me better. You have to understand that every drug that somebody gets addicted to, there's something about that drug that draws them to it, and it can be different from individual to individual. Now, the average gay man, I've noticed when they do it, I got exposed to it much, much later. But the average gay man, I noticed when they're on it, all of a sudden they become these raving sex machine, all night sex machine. They just can't get enough sex. Well, I, out of loneliness, had to learn how to use sex to get attention. Again, no attention better than no attention at all. I learned basically just where to go, how to dress, where to stand, and I'll let them come to me. And this way I can kind of pick them I know. But now, men, it's true, all men are pigs. When it comes to sex, they're very, and we're not allowed to marry and all that, so there's no reason to expect us to behave any differently. We don't have we don't have the same reason as you do, marry your kids, not to be promiscuous. And so when we're contained in the straight world and having to perform, when we have free time, we bust open like Rio, the Carnival in Rio. So, you want to get a pack of much good feeling in that time as you can. Well, you have to go back with them, And so this is what I have to teach people within Glenmore more, if they will be what we want to hear. I see nothing wrong with them hearing, and then they can do with it what they want. But they don't want to hear because it's going to conflict cognitive dissonance-wise with what they want to believe already. Anyway,
I don't think it's that people don't want to listen to you, James. I think we've been here for an hour, and I still don't understand what it is we're doing.
Yeah, that's why.
And here's what I think. I think you've had bad experiences with the church.
I
think you've had bad experiences with doctors and therapists, and I understand all that.
And it adds up after 52 years.
And I completely understand that. But you're making conclusions about me based on experiences you've had with other ministers that are unfair. Yeah. And I don't think you're willing to accept
I used to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I learned anyway.
You've gone from church to church.
I'm just checking them out.
But Bethel Rock of Pitts has offered to get you the help that she thinks you need.
Let me tell you, you haven't heard my version.
And I as I've said, James, I think you're a brilliant guy. I think you have a very sharp mind, and I think you see the world in a unique way. But I think that you have.
But if people will very easily find something about what they don't like, but I believe. But here's what all I need. I need just for somebody to meet with me with the church. I would rather that one. I didn't want that one originally, but I decided with her based on this one having shut me out. You said restraining order. So, I have
that's what we were told, and I'm sorry that we were told the wrong information.
So we got some backtracking to do to make up the difference.
It's not backtracking, it's a mistake. We were told one thing and it was incorrect, and now I'm telling you.
But everything added up to that point, there's a lot of frustration there that you don't seem to be willing to admit that you're partially responsible for.
What am I responsible for?
You're the Methodist of that church. I mean, Bob and Janet Gary are members. You're responsible for their behavior as members of their church. You can say you're not.
If you think that the clergy at this church are responsible for the behavior of the congregation, then
you are. But you know,
I think you're way off.
You know, well, here's the thing: is if you're going to claim to believe in God, then everybody else has the right to claim to believe God their way, halfway around the world. If those 19 dead pilots want to believe that there are 72 dead virgins waiting for them, they have every right to, just as much as you do. And this is what I'm trying to say about the afterlife. I can see no way the afterlife working. I mean, if I'm not still a bleeding heart liberal on that side of my life as I am on this side, who the goddamn fuck is that? I mean, what can guarantee that we get along over there? Everybody wanting to believe that their happy thoughts are going to be waiting for them over there. The bad thoughts go with you. So I can see heaven and hell working no differently than it does on earth. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So 12 hours, you're 12 hours on, you get heaven your way. You're 12 hours off, they're 12 hours on, they get it their way. And you just gotta have to wait until what shows up on your 12 hours off. They may rather rip you apart on their 12 hours on. That's called bipolar medication, you know? And this is what I learned from the Kite Runner. The movie, have you seen that one?
No, I haven't read the book either.
Huh? But you know, but that's Bert Gary's favorite movie on his blog. I've commented to 2 of his blog articles. He not only did he not accept them and upload them to his blog, he said he liked discussing religion and all that. He didn't even tell me why he deleted. He didn't even why he rejected them. And I'm sure it had to do with his parents. And but anyway, his favorite movie was The Kite Runner. Well, I've seen that movie, and the thing that shocked me, that stood out to me more than anything, was the stoning soccer game at halftime. The the series of small trucks, the people loaded in bed, pull out in the middle. They have a woman and a man under infidelity, but they're going to stone. And they put the hood over them. They have them on their knees, and then the mullah, what do we call him, the leader, imam, yeah. They gave it a beat, and then he picked up the first stone, and he goes up to the woman and point blank throws it. There's no way you can miss. He hit the wrong side of the head. He was the first one that hit her, and she clapped it. That woman was dead right there. You know, there was no way that woman was alive. If you're going to do a stoning, that's the humane way to do it. The other men, after that point, just sort of threw their half-hearted stones at them. So, what's the purpose of that? You know, I mean, why bother with the other stone? It's probably because, this is me just kind of conjecture, hypothetically. There's nothing wrong with it. They're thrown out there. They are living right on the edge, surviving. The resources, they don't have the resources. You know, we took over this land of rich and resources, put the Indians off, we brought blacks over. Why not just use the Indians? Because the Indians, you know, lived there. They knew the trains. Blacks didn't know where to go. That helped made them submissive. So we benefit from all that today, our richness today. So we do owe blacks a lot more than we you know, just because we didn't actually participate in that, like my sister said. That's just the way it was back then. We still do share some responsibility for them being way below the average income compared to ours. I mean, they're way below. We still owe, even because of our ancestors, we benefited from it. And so everybody, you know, is just tag teaming off of each other and not really getting anywhere with a real solution. I feel like I would be a great political catalyst because I've learned that liberals are no better than conservatives. I now understand why conservatives say liberals and you're a progressive. You guys are just, I'm not saying, okay, I don't even know if you're a liberal, but I'm assuming you are. I'm talking about you in general. And this is something else I get upset about. When I say you, I'm thinking plural, but y'all all get offended, you know, y'all not one of those. You know? So I can't get anywhere with the conversation. So I battle to get over.
Well, what if I treated you as
you have.
When I said you as drug addicts or you as mentally ill? I don't think that's a fair way to have a conversation.
I would love for you to do it. That's what you're thinking. You know?
Well, that's not what I'm thinking. That's not how I approach you.
But every drug addict is different, and everybody is planning to hear what it is.
And every Methodist is different.
But there's a commonality that brought them together to that church.
Well, sure, there's a commonality of every drug addict because you're all addicted to drugs.
Yeah, but the other thing about Miss Gary, she had depression too, and she's on drugs too. Why should hers be legal and mine be illegal?
Well, that's the way the society has put it together, Jim.
Yeah, but it can change. You know, that's called progressive.
Absolutely.
And
I think crystal meth makes you unwell. I think some medication makes
alcohol makes you unwell, but it has positive effect too. You know,
right? In moderation.
Well, now, you know, what the studies have shown, and the very positive result, even heavy drinkers have live on average longer than teetotalers. and what the comedy attributed it to is it lubricates society, interaction, and all that. So the positive effect was greater than the health effect. Now I'm not pushing. I'm not. I'm not trying to justify my drug addiction. I'm just trying to. I accept that I have it. I mean. But you have to.
But I don't think you have, because you.
I have.
You talk about intervening for yourself, and I don't think you can.
I'm on it right now.
Yourself.
I'm on it right now. I mean, when you first do it.
You're on crystal meth right now.
I'm on it 24 hours a day now. But I mean, depending on how you look at it. But when you first do it, one bump will last you like 2 or 3 days. And then the average gay man, it makes them the sex machine for 2 or 3 days. It's non-stop. Well, I had already had so much sex for different reasons by the time I first got introduced to it. What it did, instead of turning me into a sex machine, it made me more chatty, talkative. It isolated me more, that I think about politics even more. It didn't directly affect my opinion in politics. It only isolated me that I had, you got to do something when you're awake. And these people that are wanting to have sex don't want somebody that's wanting to chat, So I'm cut out, even more. I've always been a self-conscious, I've always been different for some reason. And so crystal meth in itself is not necessarily bad. It's not, it's not enough to be busy. So at the end, the question is, what are we being busy about? Well, I'm not busy, but I have nothing to do when I'm not busy, so why am I doing that? I'm not having sex, I'm thinking about politics. I'm trying to solve the world problem. And I think
but you can't engage with the politic of the people when you're
well, yes, I can. You don't have to let it.
But you're just a voice shouting in the void if you're incoherent and
but now you're saying I'm incoherent. I told you to stop me whenever I became incoherent.
I understand everything you're saying.
Then I'm not you're that's my point.
Nothing's connected.
That's my point. We're standing on it.
Nothing's connected.
That's my point. We're standing on it. Everything gets everything to do everything. There's no such thing as right or wrong, good or evil, just byproduct circumstances.
Yeah, and like I've said, you're a fascinating person. You have a sharp mind, but you can't. It's so difficult to have a conversation.
And, so far, all I'm able to do is get one-on-one. I can't get a group of people.
You'll never will like this.
And then I might as well go ahead and be the Antichrist, the omnipotent, and the.
No, that's not the conclusion I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is getting help. Crystal meth is not going to help you engage with other people better.
No, but you didn't. You did the same thing that Alcoholics Anonymous did. That was for the 12-step atheist group. Okay, let me. How much time we got?
I have to go, but I'd be happy to meet again. I don't think I'm going to be able to give you what you're looking for.
Well, I mean, but at least I have this, and I can upload it to the internet, and that will help. Maybe if I can find, that's one of the list. I don't know who do. I'll get Rena. I'll put her.
So this is going to go on the internet?
I hope so. I've never tried. I'm going to try to.
Okay.
I have 3 blogs, and all that is, it didn't start off me there, but I have to have witnesses.
You have a lot to say. Mm-hmm. But I'm concerned that you don't have anyone listening because you won't.
What do you think about what I told you about my sister? My sister. What do you think about what do you think about her? Is she being? Yeah.
I have no idea who your sister is.
I just told you about her. The Confederate Army, the Planetary work.
I have your construction of her. I have no idea. I can't offer you any opinion about who she is.
And they have BJ. When I showed up, I walked in the door. I just walked in the front entrance, and she just happened to be stepping out. Uh-oh. I heard her say, uh-oh, and I go, why do you say uh-oh? And she goes, and I go, are you the one that I met 4 years ago when I first came here? I was interested in the Bible study class that one of the things they talked about was theories of a just war. That is why I put Women War United Methodist Church with thank God for that, those are question mark. Theories of a just war. They removed it. It was a new class. And she said yes, and I go, are you aware that on the training order, Bob and Janet, did I threaten you in any way that day? And she said, no. And are you aware that on the training order, Bob and Janet insinuated that you did, that I did threaten you? I mean, it said that I threatened church members. Mm-hmm. When I got to the training order, they were the only 3. Her, Reverend Judge, I didn't even know he was Reverend Judge, Joseph. Is he gone now? He's not even over there anymore, is he?
He's still there.
He's still there. I didn't get the email address about it. And then Mary. Now Mary just stood in the office and listened to me and BJ talk. Well, I wanted to find out more about that Bible study class. I thought it sounded exactly what I needed. I was shocked learning that you had two adult Bible study classes. One that was the usual kumbaya, lovey-dovey confirmation bias down to me, and the other one that seemed to be actually trying to apply the Bible to today's politics. That was the one I thought would be perfect for me. Mm-hmm. Well, I went to speak to a pastor. Why is Jones no longer there?
In the Methodist Church, the pastors move around.
Automatically after so many years?
No, not automatically. He's at Decatur First United Methodist now.
Something that Janet wrote about, they sound like there was some problem, but she was happy for the first woman. I read between the lines. Anyway, I see nothing wrong with that.
James, I've got to go.
Okay.
I'm sorry to stop you. I do have to go. I got to get my children.
When was the next time you could be willing to meet?
I will send you an email. I'm happy to do it whenever it's convenient.
You're right.
Well, if this is helpful, then I'm happy to do it. That's part of my role here. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like I'm being helpful to you.
Well, I mean, maybe.
But if it is, then I'd like to continue doing it.
Recording it is actually helping. I think
okay.
Think about me uploading this to the internet as a prayer.